There we go. Yo, yo, yo. Finally, dog. Finally. Let me get my. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Make sure my headphones is plugged up. Now we're cooking. I was trying to get on here and it was messing up. It was messing up. I was trying to get on. What up? What up? What up? Guess I'll wait a little minute and see if people hop on here. If not, that's cool too. What's going on? What's going on? My fault. I was a little late. I couldn't figure the thing out. I got a little messed up. But what's going on? I'm gonna try to go live more often. I said it before, but I'm gonna stick to it in 2023. That's one of my resolutions to try to go live more often. Talk about stuff you guys want to talk about. I want to get back into the podcast game also. It's been a while. And I feel like there's a lot to talk about and a lot of opportunity here. So I gotta take advantage of it. But I'll wait a little bit. We could talk about some games you guys want to see tomorrow that are going to be on college basketball. Obviously, NFL is going to have some games. My card is not finalized yet. There's some things I like, but always willing to give out leans and anything like that, obviously. So we'll wait a little bit, a couple minutes before we get rolling. But I appreciate you tuning in, whether it's one person, zero people, 10 people. The love's always appreciated. That's for sure. That is for sure. So, but yeah, wanted to go live. I want to try to get a consistent time to go live also. There's a lot of changes to this to the live that they've been doing also. But yeah, there's some big games on tomorrow, especially in the NFL. And see if the Jags can keep it rolling. It's 9 now. The line's up to 9. It was 8.5. Now it's up to 9. We got my Eagles playing tomorrow and the Giants. That line was 7.5. I just seen it not even 10 minutes ago. It was at 8. Now it's back down to 7.5 already. Already. We're so much better than the Giants, but I'm worried. I'm worried. I ain't gonna lie. Total is at 48, up 2.5 points from 46. Jaguar total is up to 52.5, 53 in some markets. Sheesh. Soaring high. Everybody's back in Goldilocks. Trevor Lawrence, huh? Only thing that worries me about New York Giants is Dabo. You like him or you don't like him? I like Dabo. He's done an excellent job of utilizing the limited talent that he has. He's done an excellent job over there in New York. I thought that was um, a lot of these other guys were underachieving with Daniel Jones. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, but in a league where there's probably only I'm about to knock this whole thing over. In a league where there's probably only 10, 10 really, really good quarterbacks, I think Daniel Jones is serviceable. And I like what Dabo's done. His scheme is great. Play calling is great. He's the only reason they got to the playoffs and worked Jones into something functional. Exactly. Exactly. He's been a mastermind with the play calling. The scheme that he's drawn up with these guys has been incredible. Now all of a sudden they're pounding the rock, they're running it, they're play actioning. And it's hard to guard. Anytime you have a mobile quarterback, and he does well throwing it on the run. I think he gets kind of a bad rap. But Daniel Jones is not nearly as bad as some would say. And you've seen what happens when you get a good coach. And when it's playoff time, you can see how much coaching matters. Where you have Brandon Stanley on one end, where you go up 27-0, you're +5 in the turnover margin, and you have Justin Herbert at quarterback, and you still somehow find a way to lose. Hats off to Dougie P. I'm cheering for him if I'm not cheering for the Eagles, but that was I've never seen anything like that. That's gonna take a while for me to get over there. I'm still licking my wounds from that one. Also, college basketball's been nuts. It's been nuts lately. I can't believe Xavier laid an egg like that. Completely just missing shots. And then Illinois got dominated last night as well. So I did have a lean. I did like Ball State today, not quite enough to pull the trigger, but that was my only lean. That game should be started here shortly. It should be already on. I think 6:30 start time. Let me get that on my screen actually. See if I can get that up live. But yeah, Ball State. It was at 9.5, 9 earlier today. Would have been the only thing that I pulled the trigger on today. I did not pull the trigger on it. It was the only game I really liked going up against Kent State. Kent State, very good team. And these two teams have obviously played many times being in the MAC. One of them was close last year they played. The other one was not so close. So it is at home. Kent State is at home. But I didn't quite like it enough to pull the trigger there. What happened to my freaking TV? That's what happens when you got animals in the house. They just knock stuff over. TV's definitely, or my son changed the remote probably. There it goes. There we go. Come on. But yeah, that was my only lean here for tonight was Ball State going up against Kent State. I can't get a score on it because my TV's going crazy. Let me check on my phone. But yeah, tomorrow should be two excellent games. As much as we love my homeboy, that defense is not good. The pass rush is solid, but the defense is not very good. So, I mean, I think the Chiefs win, but I think it could be closer than people think. I really do. Dougie P's got these guys believing, and they're dangerous. They got nothing to lose. They've got nothing to lose in this matchup. Let's see it. 10-13. Wow. That total's high too, isn't it? No, 140. 10-13. Kent State is up. Low scoring affair. Peterson will get out coached by my feeling is Andy is a Chiefs fan since the 80s. I love Big Red. You know, he's another Eagles guy. Big time fan of Big Red. They're going to score. We know they're going to score. They score quick. They get up big. They're going to keep their foot on the gas. I think sometimes Andy gets conservative. I hope he doesn't in the playoffs. But sometimes he gets conservative in the second half to the point where he allows teams to come back and get momentum. And you cannot do this with this Jaguars team. We've seen them come back week after week after week after week now, where they just come back late and surge in these games. He's got to keep his foot on the gas. If they got to score 50, they got to score 50. You know, but we've seen that many times from the Chiefs this year. We've seen it last year as well, where they get up big and then it seems like they take the foot off the gas, so they're really worried about just running the ball and milking the clock. But I'd really like the what's his name? Isaiah. Can't remember his name. Starts with a P. But yeah, he's been playing really well. I think they have nice complementary backs to fit what they do. Obviously, the scheme is elite. Chiefs are going to score. That total is flying up. That total's flying up. Yes, there you go. That total is flying up. 3 points. Yeah, it's 3 points above almost. 2.5 points over opening line. 53 points. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go even higher tomorrow in that matchup, 4:30 matchup. Giants and Eagles is at 48.5 now. Is that moving a little bit too? It's going to be rocking in the link, man. I'm excited. It's going to be rocking in the link. But yeah, so we'll get into it. I got about another 40 seconds or so. We'll talk about some big games, and then I'm going to get off here and let you guys enjoy your Friday night. And give out some leans, or if there's some games you guys want to hear about, we can talk about, or I can just sign off. That's fine too. It's no harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. I do like TCU a little bit tomorrow. That line's moving a lot. It was started at 9. It's down to 7.5 already. Going into Kansas, I like Kansas to win, but TCU coming off that beatdown they just had. Was that TCU? Or am I thinking of the wrong team? No, TCU just had the big win. My bad. They just had a big win. I'm thinking about Kansas State. We got Arizona, UCLA tomorrow. We got Texas, West Virginia tomorrow. We got Baylor, Oklahoma tomorrow. We got Marquette, Seton Hall tomorrow. Iowa State, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State coming off that big win. I actually was on Oklahoma State in that one, up against Oklahoma. Iowa State coming off that big win at home against Texas should be a great matchup. What sport do you think has the best value in your opinion? Whew. That's tough. That's tough. What sport do I think has the best value? If I was any good at it, I would do it. I don't know anything about it, but Bryce does it, and his pack is coming very soon. There's so much value in NASCAR. There's so much value. I think there's a lot of value in NASCAR, honestly. It's the only thing that makes me nervous about NASCAR is just sometimes those crashes are crazy. But I think Bryce had almost half of the amount of race winners for NASCAR, or even his top fives were nuts. I would love to know his ROI. I don't have it offhand, but there's a lot of ways to make money in it. I don't do it. It's a little risky, but I think that if you have any type of knowledge in it, there's not a lot of people I think that cap it. Um, I personally, it's tough. Football is way There's so many people betting on football in NFL and college football. There's so many people. I like college basketball personally. It's my best sport, I think, is college basketball. We were up over close to 60% last year. This year we were up over 60. We're at about 57 now. We've had a rough week or so. It's a lot more pure, I believe. And NBA I like, but there's too much. The injury report is nuts. I don't know how people keep up with the injury report. That's the biggest thing for me with the NBA. One, I can get a report where the guy's not playing all day, he's out, and then it's like 10 minutes before tip and he's playing and the number's already out, and then it's just ridiculous. College basketball is rough because the line movement is so quick. The line changes very quick. So I think there's value in some of these smaller markets. Um, that got me tonight, but I'll see if Golden State can cover 11 and a half. Right. My daughter's calling me. But yeah, so that's why NBA stuff. I do dabble in it here and there. I'll definitely jump into it a lot more once we get closer to baseball season as I try to tiptoe into baseball. Baseball, there's a decent amount of value also. I like baseball. Even though I'm not a huge fan of it, I like it. I like to bet on it. We had a very solid baseball season last year. That was only 56, I think. Let me look. I think I have it right here. The baseball season has like a lot of like ups and downs for me. Baseball wasn't too stable, but it was profitable. But yeah, with college basketball, the line moves so fast. It's hard. You can get with college basketball, you can get the value if you can get it early enough. So like even some of these lines that are out, for instance, right now, like for the games tomorrow, these lines are moving very quickly. Like college basketball lines, I think move the fastest out of any sport. It's I don't even think it's close. UCLA and Arizona opened up at 2.5. It's at a pick 'em already. it's at a it's at a pick 'em already. It moves so quick in college basketball. A lot of folks bet on golf. I know Bryce bets on golf also. I don't fool with either of those, but he does pretty well in them. He won his head-to-head matchup last week. I know he has another one here this week. I'm not sure if he won that or not. I haven't been keeping tabs on that, but yeah, it's tough. I don't think it's football at all. Seems almost impossible for the book to even cap college basketball. So exactly, that's why I like college basketball. If you're able to get if you can find some of these games that aren't like prime time games, most people want the big time games. That's why I give out the free picks. But you can dibble and dabble in the Sun Belt. You can get in Conference USA. You can get in to some of those conferences is where you can get a lot of wins. You can get some good wins there. I don't think the lines are as sharp, and I think that they're just really focused on where most of the money comes in, which is the Power Five, the Big Ten, the Pac-12. Where right now the Big Ten is nuts. Everybody's beating everybody. The SEC, everybody's beating everybody. A lot of these conferences, guys are beating up on each other. But some of these Group of Five conferences are really, some of the guys that are going to win are going to win. Oral Roberts has been a very successful bet here recently. And what's the other one? Kent State has been riding in the MAC. I always say MACtion, but Kent State's been a good one to keep an eye on with the MAC. They're up now 9 points, which is they have that capability. We saw them play tight with Gonzaga. We saw them play with a lot of big names. They had a really tough schedule so far this year. But some of these Group of Fives, you can really, yeah. So wow, that's a lot of bets. So MLB, we get to the end here. So last year MLB, we were smidge under. We were 55%, but we were plus 28 units for the season. So baseball was good for us. Baseball was good to us. Wasn't great. It was good to us. A lot of bets, long season, a lot of guys in and out. But yeah, plus 28 units is very successful baseball season. So I'll be looking forward to that again. NBA usually used to be my baby, and here lately it's been a little sketchy. I've been staying away from it, just like playing it on the side on my own. I haven't been putting it out as premium plays, trying to dial it back in. But yeah, college basketball might be the most valuable because of the amount of games, especially Saturdays. Saturdays are nuts. Everyone's betting, everyone's doing stuff. There's a lot of line movement. There's a lot of money going in, a lot of money going out. But if you can get in some of these smaller games, for instance, like let's see if we can get one out. I'll see if I can grab one for you here today. You can watch when some of these in the beginning of the season, I think is very important when it comes to college basketball. If you can select and pay attention to some of these non-conference games and some of these mid-majors playing some of the big dogs, that experience is valuable. You take a look at their schedule, like Kent State, for example. You take a look at their schedule, and you'll be able to see that when they get to play their opponents in conference, they almost steamroll some of these guys. That used to be Northern Kentucky. They went out and got a nice win early on against Cincinnati, but they offensively have been really struggling this year. They're playing a little better now, but typically I've been on teams that are usually powerhouses, the Belmonts, the Liberties, the Northern Kentuckys, Lipscomb. I haven't played Lipscomb this year. Kent State, like Kent State played Charleston to a 2-point game. They played Houston to a 5-point game, and I think Houston's good enough to win it all. Um, they beat New Mexico State in an away game. They beat Toledo by 12, which Toledo we know can fill it up with anybody. But I think if you can get some of those mid majors, there's a lot of value there, um, especially in college basketball. That's there's a lot of value there. But if you're talking about like crazy odds type, like NASCAR odds are nuts. A race winner in NASCAR is nuts. It's like some of those can be plus 1,500, plus two, you know what I mean, plus $1,200, and you cash one of those. It's like even if you put a unit on it, you're giving yourself a pretty big buffer if you can hit those consistently, which Bryce has been able to do. Even the top fives or the top tens are pretty good payouts. You get 5-1 odds, 6-1 odds for a top 10. Some of these guys are mainstays in the top 10. Their cars are too good. They're too good at drivers. They're too good at pit crew. Kent State and Texas Tech, or Kansas State and Texas Tech will be a good one tomorrow also. But yeah, you may be right. College basketball might be the most valuable for sure. Might be the most valuable. You may be right there. You may be right there. Yeah, I mean, check him out. I think that a lot of people are afraid of it. When COVID came, and there weren't any sports on and it was just NASCAR, I was all over it. I'm like, bro, if you got bets, I'll take them. I was just betting all of his NASCAR blindly. I don't know anything about it. Possibly. I know a lot of people get into soccer. I don't know anything about soccer. I mean, I know about it, but I've never bet it. I've never bet soccer. I've never bet soccer at all. I think a lot of it is if you, no matter what you're doing and no matter what you're betting, it's just a matter of how much knowledge you have. If you have knowledge of the sport, you know when something doesn't look right. You know what I mean? I know in college basketball, when you look at a line, you're like, this line is not sharp. This line should be closer to this number. Or if your computer, a lot of people are now into the computer generated type stuff where they put stuff in and it makes an algorithm and it spits a number out at them and they go by that. I do not have that. I do not cap that way personally. I know a lot of people do. I know for a while, um, I think Bryce had one last year for a few of his couple sports that he was doing, but I don't have any of that. But I think if you are knowledgeable in any sport, you'll be able to pick out the value and you'll be able to pinpoint it and know when, like, hey, this is off, this should be this. Like for me, for boxing, when I can go to boxing matches, yeah, this some of them are just gimmies. I haven't put a lot of them out last year, but the ones we put out, we were putting out 5 units. We were cashing like easy money. It's like if you see Mayweather fighting whoever, everyone loves Canelo. It's going to go the distance. Mayweather's going to box his face off. He's going to win by a decision, and we're going to hammer it. We're going to put 5 6 units down on it. He's going to smoke it. He's going to punch and box and win. I thought I was going to get that with Caleb Plant. I thought he was going to survive. He got hit with a big shot, but I thought that was plus money there for Caleb Plant just to go to distance with Canelo Alvarez was like plus two something. He got to the ninth round and got caught with a shot, but yeah, I think it's up to your knowledge. I don't know enough about soccer. My brother does, but I should probably use him a little bit more than I do. He was giving me UFC there for a while, so but he's back in college trying to get his accounting degree. So I try not to bother him. Philly Union was money last year. Yeah, there was a guy I used to work with um, that's big on soccer, and he would be giving me his soccer tips as well. We don't have any. So I mean, on the in the near future, I'm not sure how near that will be something we look into. Like we don't have anyone who does soccer consistently. We don't have anyone that does UFC consistently. I do baseball, college football, college basketball, NFL, NBA dabble, and MLB and boxing. But I know Bryce does mostly. He hates baseball, absolutely hates it. He dabbles in it here and there, but he hates baseball. So mostly he does golf. He does NASCAR, which he had an exceptional year last year. The next couple of years of NASCAR have been exceptional. Golf, NASCAR, NFL. His NFL playoffs are nuts. If you guys aren't going to be on his pack, that's fine. But I would highly recommend grabbing his weekend or his day package. His NFL packs are nuts. He had a one day wasn't so good, but the next day was monstrous. He hit almost every prop bet. I think he missed a one prop bet, and he cashed both of his side bets. He had the Giants money line and he had them ATS. I had them ATS. He had them money line as well. He was all over that. So yeah, Bryce's NFL is nuts. He was circa million, top 10 finisher. I think not last year, the year before. So yeah, he's very good at NFL. But yeah, we don't have anybody that does a decent amount of sports. So I'll keep an eye out for that. It's not something that I'm like immediately like we need more people, you know. But yeah. So I didn't really come on here with an agenda. We are going to start up a podcast. I'm looking at probably I'm going to start it with me. I don't know what Bryce's schedule is like right now. Shout out to Bryce. He did have a little one. So he's been in and out a little bit. He just had his first child, so I'm super excited for him. I have two of my own, one older, one a little young, well, way younger. So it's always a joy to have that. So I want to fire up the podcast. I'll start solo, whether I add him in, have some other guys in. I know Jamal was talking to me about possibly wanting to join in or have some guests. I am definitely possibly going to have that. where we have some people hop on with us and we talk and we give back and forth, and we ask what their picks are. I give my picks, or we just talk about sports in general, or we just talk about life. But I want to get the podcast rolling again. It's been a while since I've been in the podcast industry or category, I should say. So I'm super excited to get back into that. Commentating and being in the podcast game is one of my favorite things to do. So super excited. It was nice when we had the Two for the Show podcast going for a while during COVID. So I want to get back into that for sure. I want to get back into that. Also, Father, kids are a rewarding blessing to you, and I appreciate it. Blessings to you as well. Yeah, kids are the best. Kids are the best. I have a lot of titles that I am. I've achieved a lot, accomplished a lot in my life, but yeah, being a dad is definitely number one. It's definitely number one on my list. I enjoy it. I'm call my daughter back here in a little bit. She's probably going to call and see if she can spend the night tomorrow. She's pray for me. She's getting into the teens, or the tweenies. She's like a tweenie now. She's 11. So getting into them years is I'm not looking forward to it, man. I'm not looking forward to it whatsoever. And so, but yeah, I put out no picks today. We are going to get back into the podcast game. Bryce is the man in NFL, if you didn't know. So I think he's fifth. What is he now? 15-5 or something crazy in the month of December going into January. He's been nuts. And I don't know why I'm surprised, because he does it all the time. But yeah, so we're gonna have ourselves a good day tomorrow. Weekend pack $34.99, day pack $19.99. We're gonna have ourselves a day. I'm gonna try to pick my spots very well. I'm looking at some stuff right here, right now. If there are any games you want to talk about, let's do it. If not, I'm gonna be on here about 5 or 10 more minutes, and I'm gonna get the heck up out of here and get ready to get my son. I think my son's down in the tub right now. Get him geared up and ready for bed. But the podcast is coming. It'll be great. I'm excited for it. We'll get things going on that side. Um, we're going to get back on track with college basketball. We had a rough couple days here in college basketball, and I'm going to try to tiptoe my way back into the NBA. I feel like the NBA now is almost borderline, like it's like WWE, man. There's so much parody and so much nonsense with the NBA and the flopping and the refs, and it's just games are going over to 100, 240 points. It's not, I don't like the quality of the game. That's why I like college so much better. It's a quality game. It's the NBA is just up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And I'm gonna get into it for sure here soon, but if no one has anything they want to talk about, no games they want to talk about, then I'm ready to sign up off here. I just wanted to hop on. I said I was going to go live. I want to try to go live more often. Probably going to try to go with a Wednesday. I think maybe a little later, a little earlier. Not sure. We'll see. I'll put it in my next video and let you guys decide what time. Since I was young, I always watched college, never NBA to the finals. Yeah, I mean, I watch it. It gets a little better after the All-Star break, or coming into the All-Star break. Now they're going to get a little bit more serious, and the teams that should win will win. But early on, it's just a mess. Guys in and out. Trade talks are happening now. It's just, I love college. It's much more pure. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Those who tuned in, I'm going to get up on out of here, spend some time with my family. God is love. Double D, Derek Dimes. Good luck to you. Good luck on your bets tonight. Hope you guys have a good night. All right. Until next time.